Welcome back to 5 Weekly Entertainment. If you have ever been to Scotland or have any Scottish family members, you are sure to have heard at least one of these legends. On the evening of 23rd of September 1954, Glasgow police received a call summoning them to the southern necropolis, a vast cemetery in the Gorbals, one of the city's poorest neighborhoods. PC Alex Deeprose arrived on the scene a few minutes later. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. There were hundreds of children all across the graveyards. They carried crosses and crucifixes, and axes, stakes and knives. The oldest of the kids were around 14, the youngest could barely even walk. PC Deeprose watched in amazement as the children searched among gravestones, peered behind trees and prowled around elaborate Victorian tombs. Blasts of flame cast strange shadows, dark figures moved in and out of clouds of rolling fog. "There he is!" the children would shout as they rushed off to confront some silhouette. "No, he's there!" a cry would go up as the fire illuminated another sinister outline. PC Deeprose managed to get over his initial shock and asked a group of children what they were doing. The kids replied they were hunting the Gorbals vampire, a 7-foot-tall monster with long metal fangs. They claimed the vampire had captured and eaten 2 boys and was living in the graveyard. More police arrived, but they couldn't persuade the children to give up their quest. Only when it started to rain, and a local headmaster told everyone to stop being ridiculous, did the children retreat. Isabel Gowdy was a farm labourer's wife from Aldern, a village near the Scottish Highlands, whose detailed confessions while on trial in 1662 remain the subject of scholarly fascination to this day. Gowdy's elaborate testimony was comprised of 4 separate confessions given over a period of 6 weeks, which were reported to have been procured without the use of torture. With undeniable creative flair, Gowdy describes her pact with the devil and the various activities of her 13-strong coven, including spoiling crops, thieving corn, breaking into the homes of wealthy neighbors, flying on enchanted horses, fraternizing with fairies, participating in diabolical orgies, and casting perilous spells on notable members of the local community. Legend has it that the firstborn son of the 12th Earl of Glamis had a hidden room constructed in his castle, which he used to hide a hideous family secret. The secret was apparently so extraordinary that only 3 people were ever allowed to know it at one time: the Earl, the Earl's heir, after he reached his 21st birthday, and the estate manager, known as a factor. Stories abounded over just what the Earl's secret could be. According to legend, the heir of the 13th Earl of Strathmore flatly refused to participate in the initiation rite that would have informed him of the castle's dark history. Many suspect that the mystery died with the 14th Earl. However, visitors cannot deny the chilling atmosphere felt in the castle, especially in the lonely hours past midnight. It is believed it was possibly the 13th Earl's monstrous firstborn son. Because he told his curious wife, "If you could even guess the nature of this castle's secret, you would get down on your knees and thank God it was not yours." It was heard the legend that a monster was born into the family. He was the heir, a creature fearful to behold. It was impossible to allow this deformed caricature of humanity to be seen, even by their friends. His chest an enormous barrel, hairy as a doormat, his head ran straight into his shoulders and his arms and legs were toy-like. The monster reportedly died in 1882, the ghost of Clonea Erdbay. The unmistakable blast of the bagpipes is a common sound in Scotland, particularly in our cities and at festivals and celebrations. But what happens when the piper himself vanishes into thin air? There are several stories of phantom pipers throughout Scottish history and folklore. In days gone by, a dark network of tunnels was said to extend from the Cove of Grinnan to the cliffs of Clonea Erdbay, near Stranraer. Locals believed that fairies lived in these tunnels and caves, and no one dared to go inside and disturb them until one day, a piper boldly entered the caves. He played his pipes loudly, accompanied by his faithful brown dog. The music droned on for hours, slowly fading away until it couldn't be heard. Suddenly, the dog ran out of the cave terrified and howling, without any of its hair. The piper was never seen again. Although the caves are now long gone, on summer nights, Passers-by have heard the distant sound of bagpipes coming from deep under the ground. The Loch Ness Monster is a mythical animal that allegedly lives in Loch Ness, a large freshwater lake near Inverness, Scotland. Although accounts of an aquatic beast living in the lake date back 1,500 years, all efforts to find any credible evidence of the animal have failed. That hasn't dampened the public's enthusiasm, however, for any news about Nessie. Loch Ness, located in the Scottish Highlands, has the largest volume of fresh water in Great Britain. The body of water reaches a depth of nearly 800 feet and a length of about 23 miles. Scholars of the Loch Ness Monster find a dozen references to Nessie in Scottish history, dating back to around 500 AD, when local Picts carved a strange aquatic creature into standing stones near Loch Ness. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Check out our other videos, also leave your comments. Thanks for watching 5 Weekly Entertainment.